I wasn't going to talk about the David Gold thing, but it's been all over the news. And the reason I didn't want to talk about it was I did not want to give the troll who initiated the whole sequence of events any attention whatsoever, which is why I'll not be flashing the tweet up on the screen at all, because if I thought the geezer would get one single follower off the back of somebody watching this video, I think it would render the video worth not doing altogether. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to read the tweet. The tweet says, I think West Ham are okay. We have a new big stadium, a board that support to the best of their ability, and players who need some kind of support. Again, nothing wrong with that. If you support the board, you support the board. If you think players need support, fine. What he then went on to say was, I get abused every other day for my opinions. If I was Caroline Week, I'd have topped myself. Now, the girl's name is not Caroline Week. He's saying that Caroline is weak. For those of you who don't know, this is the lady that was the host of Love Island. She killed herself. She committed suicide, possibly at the weekend. You'd have to excuse me. My general knowledge on the subject is sketchy at best. I don't watch the programme. I don't know the young lady. But it's just a very, very sad sequence of events that she was getting a lot of... I think she was getting a lot of negative publicity in the tabloids, a lot of negative publicity on social media. She had a court case pending, and she took her own life, as I understand things. And anyway, so I keep having to not refer to his name. I don't think he deserves any attention. Anyway, so he said that she was weak for killing herself. David Gold liked the tweet. Now, David Gold is an old geezer, let's be fair. He's 83. He's in very, very poor health. He shouldn't be on social media anymore. He should have come off a long time ago. And what's happened is he's liked the tweet. As I suspected, he's since come out, he's apologised, and he's basically said he read the start of the start of the tweet, where he said that he thinks West Ham are okay, that the board support the best, blah, blah, blah. It was a supportive tweet towards the board. He clearly liked it. He either didn't read the bottom bit, which is what he said, or he possibly didn't know what it meant. Now, I can understand that if you're not in the news. So anyway, it was a foolish thing to do. Silly David Gold. If you're not up with current affairs, I would suggest, in which case, just stay off Twitter. I don't think you should stay off Twitter. It's an embarrassment, and it's embarrassing for the club because the media have all picked up on it. He's since apologised. Let's hope he closes down his Twitter account. Not just because of this. There's a whole load of tweets. He's better off without it, surely. You know, worth £500 million. Go and play with your toys. Play in your nicely manicured gardens. Go and play golf. Do whatever. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. Stay off it. You'll be doing yourself a favour, and you will be doing the club a massive favour. But whilst Gold's got a lot of the attention, and he has done, and right, and you know, rightly so. The guy that's done the initial tweet is an abomination. Now, I guess at some point, I didn't know. I guess at some point, I've had some interaction with the guy because I couldn't see his tweet because I blocked it. He was blocked. It's taken someone to screenshot it so as I could see it. And having chatted to a couple of people, this is a serial troll. This is somebody that constantly goes online and tries to rub people up the wrong way, West Ham fans in particular. And the thing is with trolls, we know trolls very, very well at Hammers Chat. We started with a forum on the YouTube, and now on social media, we've dealt with a lot of trolls. And when trolls don't get, people say, oh, ignore them. When you don't give a troll any oxygen, they go up the next level and they say more and more controversial things until they say something, you know, pretty horrendous. So if you look on this one, where the young girl's taken her life. Now, when I heard about it, I've got to be honest with you, Mrs. Gonzo watches Love Island. She told me, oh, the presenter of Love Island has committed suicide. So I said, well, how very sad. How very, very sad. My initial thoughts were, well, blimey, you know, her poor parents, you know, because clearly she's going to be a young girl, isn't she? So, oh, you know, you wouldn't, you know, you really, really wouldn't want that. Incredibly sad. Anybody would feel under that much pressure. The feel they'd take their own life. The troll didn't think sad. He felt his emotion was weak person. I just wonder how cruel you got to be, how nasty you got to be, that your first thought is that. Maybe he doesn't think that. Maybe he decided to make himself sound nasty to get more clicks. But tell you what, and to get more attention. Get more attention he did. Because I was driving to work, it came on the radio on Talk Sport, this guy's tweet. Unbelievable. This was a pinnacle for this guy, okay? This was the absolute top. This, you couldn't get any higher. It's like being a boxer and becoming a heavyweight world champion. He got mentioned on national radio. I mean, he must have been high-fiving himself, fist-bumping himself. He's probably going to knock one out this evening over the fact that that has been read out on national radio. And I just wonder where we're going with all of this. That actually, there are probably a number, well, I say a number of people, there are probably a load of people that write perfectly reasonable and lovely things on social media all the time, and possibly don't even get a like or don't get a mention, or no one even pays any attention to them at all. And, you know, somebody does this and they get so much attention. I just think as a tactical tweet, I mean, it was spot on in many respects, wasn't it? He mentioned the board and, you know, got people's attention with it. And then went nuclear at the end. He was basically nasty to somebody who had killed themselves. Now, it doesn't matter whether he thinks that someone that commits suicide is weak or not. That doesn't matter. But they should remain his own personal thoughts. Not just because the lady's parents might see this, and they would have heard this today. Because it all went viral as it has done, her parents would have heard about this today. It's undoubtedly going to have made them feel a lot worse, by the way. So whether you think they're weak, or you think someone is courageous for taking life, or you think they're weak, or whatever, what is it? Why is the filter not there? Why somebody don't keep those thoughts to themselves? Because it's not just those parents. There will be people, and West Ham fans as well, who know other people that have either suffered suicide or been close to suicide or just struggling or whatever. Nasty. Really nasty to choose and go that way. And as ever, no picture, right? Anonymous. His name's not on there. And I just wonder at what point at Twitter or whoever going to start getting rid of these accounts that are completely anonymous. I mean, it would be so easy to have some sort of registration process. Bit of ID, photo up there. You're going to be more responsible for what you say. Because in the real world, in real life, after this, if this is pinned with his photo and his name, the geezer's not getting through any job interview at any point in the future. Anyway, I've spoken to him far longer than I wanted to, but I've managed to avoid saying his name or giving out his Twitter handle. As I say, I don't really like talking about it. I don't particularly want to be militant about it, but I just felt there's something, because of all the attention on David Gold and the fact that he should hang up his what should we say, his Twitter pen, so to speak, his Twitter keyboard, which I think is right. I think the nastiness in the way that this person thinks, I think as it's not gone unnoticed. A lot of people have said, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?" And a lot of people said, "Can you delete this? Can you?" You're appealing to an unreasonable person. You're appealing to somebody who's quite callous, nasty, a very, very nasty person. People like this are the reasons that you have laws and you have civilization and stuff like that, because people like this, with no recompense, with no comeback, are dangerous. And there you go. So those are my thoughts on that. Anyway, sorry, I've done nearly 10 minutes talking about that, but I'll tell you what, it has really, really annoyed me. I was going to talk about Jarrod Bowen, shall we? Yeah, just quickly. Right, Jarrod Bowen, okay. David Moyes is playing coy, all right? David Moyes is quoted as saying, "I've been pleased with what I've seen from Jarrod at the moment. He's come in, he's settled in very quickly, he's looked sharp in training. He's obviously had a lot of games. It's not as if he's short of match practice or match fitness in any way, so I've been pleased. But I'm wary of putting the boys in too quickly. I've had a lot of boys from the Championship in the past, and I think it's important to put them in at the right time, the right moments, at the right time, and we'll just take our time. Crikey, he said that a lot, hasn't he? And we'll see when it's right for Jarrod. He said he was asked whether he'd be starting against Man City. He said, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be as direct as that to give you an answer, even if I was. But obviously, he's a talent. We need goals. He can do that. I'm also very aware that we don't need to put pressure on him too quickly. That's that. I am mindful that these might be managerial games. Okay? So let's just get that Thursday. Number one, it might well be, I was going to say a bit of managerial mind games to Guardiola. We might play Bowen. Or we might not. Like that is, of course, going to bother the team worth probably £1 billion. So it might be a bit of that to try and keep his starting 11 under wraps. If that is so, fair play. Also, it might be managerial mind games in terms of, well, just good man management, not mind games. It might be just saying to, he might maybe just doesn't want to let the player know that he is starting at this point. So when the squad is read out or the first team is read out, let's say that the player is thinking, oh, great, I'm in the team. Fantastic. You know, it's a managerial ploy to boost his confidence, to make him excited, whatever he thinks. So if it's either of those, not a problem at all. You know, David Moyes, knock yourself out. If you're playing the game, good on you. If neither of those are true, and he's being cautious, and he's talking about giving the player time to settle in, you don't have any time, David. You got no time, mate. There is no time. We've bought this player, apparently, for 20 million quid. Something like that. I might be wrong. It doesn't matter whether it's 18 million or 22 million. We have spent a lot of money on this guy in the January transfer window. To come in, to give us some goals. You've already indicated that you understand that the goals are needed and he can provide them. You don't have the luxury of time to get him warmed up, to dip him in and out, to slowly bring him into the team. We need every single point we can get, and I do not understand this softly approach. Particularly when you look at some of the bench that we've put out. Particularly when you look at the fact that we are desperate for goals. But he seemed to be at pains to stress that it was. He said, I've had a lot of boys from the Championship before. They take a bit of time. Mate. I'll tell you what, if he'd have said to David Sullivan, when he asked for the funds to buy the player, David, you know what, I want to bring someone in, but it's going to be slowly. I bet Sullivan would have said, no, you need to bring someone in now to make an impact right this second. Because that's what we need. Straight in the team. And he's not 15. I think he's 22 or 23. He's a man. He's not a little boy, is he? I think it's really crazy. And let's not forget that there's a clause in his contract whereby he gets to leave West Ham for almost no profit, for almost the same amount of money. I think we bought him for 20 and he can leave for 24. It's something like that. In the event of us getting relegated. So there's no easing him in like he's going to pay us some benefit next season. He won't be here. If we go down, he will not be here. He has come in and he has got one job at the moment. Bowen, listen, I hope the kids, I just said he wasn't a kid. I hope the man plays the next 5 years for West Ham and is a very, very good player for us. But at the moment, he has one job. One job. That is to provide us with enough goals to keep us safe. That's it. That's it. But he needs to be given the opportunity to fulfil that job. He can't do that if he's not being played. As I say, it might all be kidology. It may well be smoke and mirrors and David Moyes trying to be a little bit sneaky. But this is not the time for all that. This is not the time. Quite frankly, I know Watford are down in the bottom three again now, but Pearson came in, he had a massive boost, they went on. Ancelotti's come in at Everton, they've had a massive boost, they won some games. I think we're still waiting for the Moyes bounce on that one. And, well, as they say, the definition of madness is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Moyes going to need to do something differently. Because I'll tell you what, if he puts out that same team in the 3-5-2 with exactly the same players he played out last time, we're going to lose. We probably will anyway. What's he thinking? Don't play Bowen because, oh, I won't play him against Manchester City. Well, right, okay, what? Because they're tough? Because they're hard? Because we'd probably lose anyway? Okay, well, in which case, don't play him against Arsenal. Don't play him against Liverpool. And don't play him against Manchester United. Well, that's a third of our games, right? Might be wrong. Something like that. You just can't do it. He's got to play every game between now and the end of the season. Because quite frankly, West Ham are not a big enough or a good enough club or team to buy arguably the best player in the Championship, to buy a player for 20 million quid and not play him.